Hi again, Gregg Bell, the News Tribune. The 14th and final public workout day of Seahawks training camp. On Wednesday, an Army Chinook helicopter flew overhead, right over my head, right about here, over the water, from the 1st Special Forces Group at Joint Base Lewis McChord. Those soldiers from Special Forces soldiers were here today at practice for a military event. After practice, some military personnel going through football combine type drills. The Seahawks came over, players did sign some autographs and talk to the men and women in uniform, and I've talked to a couple of soldiers saying they really appreciated how much the Seahawks appreciated the service they do for our country. So that was great to see. Back to my former life, about 15, 20 years ago, so it didn't seem that long ago. Anyway, on the field. Tom Cable, the offensive line coach, made some news today by saying the Seahawks are pretty solid, pretty set at center, left guard, and left tackle. That means Justin Britt will start the season at center. And it sounds like Luke Jokel is ready to go to be the left guard, the $7 million guaranteed man they signed from Jacksonville in the offseason. George Fant, last year's undrafted college basketball player, will, by all appearances, start the season at left tackle where he played the last half of last season. What that, of course, leaves on the right side is to be still determined the right guard and the right tackle. Mark Lewinsky and Oday Aboushi at right guard, almost alternating by the day, almost alternating by the team scrimmage. Aboushi started this preseason opener last weekend at Los Angeles. Tom Cable indicated that Mark Lewinsky, last year's starting left guard, will start at right guard Friday night when the Seahawks host the Minnesota Vikings. Lewinsky's back at his college position at West Virginia for 2 years of right guard, and the Seahawks moved him there thinking he'd be more comfortable, but they actually are really happy with how Oday Aboushi, the former Jets and Houston Texan, is playing at right guard. So that competition goes on, and probably will through much the third preseason game when the starters play their most of the exhibition season into the second half. At right tackle right now remains Germain Ifedi. Cable said he was not happy that Ifedi missed most of a week because he got punched by teammate Frank Clark. More on that in a second. Clark talked today to the media. I get the feeling that there's a door still open there on the Ifedi spot, that they're not totally pleased with how he's played, how he's not been quick enough on the outside. Ifedi moved back to right tackle where he was starting right guard as a rookie last year, the first-round pick last season. Played right guard last season, but he played right tackle at Texas A&M. That was part of the thinking behind the Seahawks moving him to right tackle for this year, but he has not completely clinched that job. Ethan Posick, the rookie second-round pick, still getting a good amount of work at the backup right tackle spot and at right guard. Tom Cable mentioning again today how valuable Posick is at both guard and tackle, and of course he was at the center at LSU. The Seahawks think they have a guy who can play 3 positions in one man in Ethan Posick, and we're still going to find out whether that one position is right tackle or whether Germain Ifedi holds on to that for the start of the regular season. Tramaine Brock signed today as the former San Francisco 49ers starting cornerback the last 2 seasons. Has also played nickelback in his career. He's 5'10", which is more of a size in Seattle for a nickel inside guy to guard the quick twitch inside tricky guys rather than the tall receivers outside. Brock at 5'10" is 3 inches shorter than Shaquille Griffin, the Seahawks drafted in this spring in the 3rd round to play cornerback. Brock is 5 inches shorter than Richard Sherman, the 3-time All-Pro, who's of course the left cornerback. Brock talked today about his domestic violence charge that got him cut from the 49ers in April. Those charges were dropped last week by the Santa Clara District Attorney, citing lack of cooperation from the alleged victim and lack of evidence. In a very unusual move, Brock's agent was on the field at the edge of the practice field after practice, talking to the media very openly about what he believes. First, of course, that his client was wrongly accused. Second, that he doesn't believe the NFL is going to punish Brock because of what he believes is the evidence they have exonerating his client. And thirdly, what I thought was interesting is what both Brock and his agent saying the Seahawks have been on him and wanting him and interested in signing him since the arrest, April 7th, and that as Brock put it, they've shown me the love. They've been with me from the start. They've been with me throughout this domestic violence case. Brock's agent said, Ron Slavin's his name, said that 11 other teams beside the Seahawks were interested in signing Brock, but that he chose the Seahawks because he wants to win and because of the Seahawks' interest in Brock from the very start of the case. Clark said he apologized again publicly for what he has already apologized in front of the team for slugging Tramaine in practice 2 weeks ago. He said he was punished by Pete Carroll, said he had to take practice time away, left unsaid but understood, as he most likely, almost certainly got fined as well. Clark said his knee, he got injured his left knee, he believes, in that practice. He didn't know it until he woke up the next day and he couldn't move his knee. He is practicing again without the brace on the knee. He played last weekend against the Chargers in the preseason opener. All indications are the 10-sack man will play again Friday night against Minnesota, and that the Seahawks are moving on. The Seahawks will be out here tomorrow for a very short practice. The last one before Friday's game, of course. We'll hear from Pete Carroll tomorrow on who may play and who may not as far as injuries go. Doug Baldwin back to practice, and regularly so. Tyler Lockett, who didn't play last weekend, is also back to practice and full go. I'll have more tomorrow, and more online as always at thenewstribune.com. Thanks for watching.